Warning. The following video contains strong language that some viewers may find offensive or disturbing.
What is an adult problem you were not prepared for? The snowball effect of poverty. Every major bill or unexpected emergency, $500 plus, takes you back 6 months to a year. It feels like you're on an escalator made of mud. Just had to pay $400 for a CAT scan for a pain in my side I've been having. Throwing that money away to be told they can't see anything wrong. Just hurts. It's entirely possible to lose your job through no fault of your own. This. Having lost a job I was very passionate and proud of and excelled in very quickly with great promise of bigger and better things. And then boom, laid off. All accomplishments suddenly mean nothing. Happened to me at the end of February this year and I am still so broken. I loved it, and they liked me, and it was after a year of being on and off employed. Looking for something that didn't completely destroy my soul. I just can bear the thought of searching and interviewing and feeling out the work culture and starting over. Yet again, thankfully, terrifyingly, the pandemic has made jobs scarce anyway. Unemployment checks carefully rationed. Lots of rice and beans for me and the so. You can lose a job you like and are good at in a moment. Drifting away from school friends because moving away. But then struggling to make new friends in a new city. I have a friend from high school that I really do love to hang and talk with still. When I moved to college 2 hours away, we barely saw each other. When I graduated and moved only 40 minutes away, I swore I would visit more often. But I also then had a job that ate up my time. I ended up seeing her even less now despite living closer. It's so frustrating. Keeping everything balanced in your 20s is so damn hard. Having to institute a complete body hair management program. Ears, eyebrows, nose, chest, balls, ass. Then losing it the only place I want it. My head. For the first time ever. A few months ago my barber said, "Mate, you want me to do something about these eyebrows?" Having a presentable place. And debating myself on why it matters. It always frustrated me when my parents had a guest over and we had to deep clean the whole house. Like if it's my close friend of 8 years visiting. Why do I care what they care about my cleanliness? And yet, every time people are over I find myself cleaning the apartment up for some reason. Losing people, loved ones passing away is the hardest. Then there's the nasty breakdown of personal relationships. Family relationships and friendships. Then there's the sad drifting apart that happens when life takes you on a different path to a person you were once really close to. Being able to not cook the same meal every day while balancing hundreds of other tasks. I will always admire my mom for how she was able to cook. Have a clean house, work 43 hours and help her children do homework all while taking time to work out at the end of every day. I could mention other common problems like money management and common tasks that I haven't mastered. But what really hit me like a train was the actual transition of adulthood. I am talking about having to make my own appointments and having to keep tabs on myself instead of handing every single document to my mom. I realized how unorganized I was when I found my birth certificate in the same drawer where I have junk receipts. Realizing that not even your parents have all the answers. And finally understanding that they were just figuring it out as they went just like we are. Not having an all-knowing figure to give you the answers to all your problems is the pits and I hate it. Edit. Just wanted to add that I agree figuring stuff out for yourself is rewarding and fun. But some things you really don't want to figure out for yourself. Or can't figure out. And for those things it's nice to have someone to point you in the right direction. Not being able to sleep due to stress. Yet here I lay, exhausted but wide awake. When I was younger I could sleep anytime. Anywhere. Pro tip, if you don't fall asleep within 30 minutes. Get out of bed. Otherwise you'll associate your bed with lying awake. Furthermore, you could actually do something. You're gonna be tired tomorrow anyway. So why not do the dishes? Clean the toilet or organize your living room. Just any small task for 15 to 30 minutes. You'll feel good because you did it. Your bed cools down. So when you get in, you have something to be proud of and your bed is cool. This has helped me many times. I've also walked a lot in the middle of the night. Lying awake sucks big time. Especially because of stress. But making your home a better place by cleaning and organizing helps a lot. Edit, avoid screens. Edit 2, to those now lying in bed for way too long. Just get out of it. Eat something healthy. Clean your desk or the kitchen counter or give your dying plants some water. Take a small break from lying awake and try again in 30 minutes. Not too long ago I was waking up at 2 a.m. and just laying there for 2 hours tossing and turning thinking about all the world's problems. So I decided to outsmart my own brain. When that happened I vowed to get out of bed and go run. Which I know from experience I hate doing. So my brain learned that if I was going to wake up at 2 o'clock it was going to have to go running. And eventually, not wanting to do that, I quit waking up at 2 a.m. The endless teeny tiny implications of adult freedom. You have your own medical insurance plan now. You need to pick a primary care physician. Okay, who should I pick? Up to you, but like where should I start? How do I know which doctor to choose? Up to you. How do other people find one? They just pick the one they like. You don't know any of these doctors. Pain. Arthritis is fucking horrible, and early onset autoimmune arthritis is worse than just having an ache in one or two joints. I hurt all the time. Everywhere. And everyone just assumes you're faking it or you're a pill popper. I am not going to live another 20 years with this pain like my dad did. Going from having tons of friends to really having no one. Even the few you have, if they get married and start popping out kids before you. Shit. I was a groomsman at my buddy's wedding and haven't seen him face to face in 2 years. First kid. Back to college for his master's degree. House renovations have all kept him on lockdown. And now quarantine right when he finished his degree. Back hurting just from sleeping wrong. And from sitting wrong and from doing housework and yard work and from picking up dogs or kids or whatever life requires. Having others rely on you as an emotional ballast. I can barely stay sane myself. Let alone carry someone else. When I was young, death seemed very romantic. The idea of everyone being so sad about you being gone and regretting every wrong against you. Now I have way too many responsibilities to die. I have seen how loss really affects the people I love and would never want to subject them to that. How expensive living is. I worked all through high school. But my only bill was the gas I put in my car. 30 hours a week on minimum wage goes a long way on shopping sprees and nail salons when you don't have any other expenses. I developed nasty spending habits. Not the value of a hard-earned dollar my parents were hoping for. I'm not in crippling debt or anything, but sometimes having to spend money on groceries or utilities depresses me more than it rationally should. Dealing with your parents acting like children. My parents have always acted like children. However, as a child I was blind to this. Now as an adult I realize how immature and lost my parents actually are. Preparing for retirement. Of course everyone knows they will stop working at some point, but now that I'm 40, it feels like I really need to get it together. Am I going to continue bad habits that negatively impact my health, or will I finally make changes to be healthier later? My new favorite worry, will I really have enough money to retire and live comfortably enough to have a good of quality life? 10 years ago this all seemed so far away. Now, it feels like I'm speeding to the next phase of my life. The constant obsessive feeling that I'm fast running out of time to have an enjoyable life even though I'm only in my 20s. I'm 40. That feeling is real and you should listen to it. Do it now. You might not get the chance later. My great-grandmother said that she and my great-grandfather promised they would always take a cruise around the world after they retired. It never happened because life got in the way. But they could have done it when they were younger. Don't ruin yourself financially, but if you can do that crazy thing you always wanted to do, go do it. Make it happen. Edit, let me be clear. Don't run off and put yourself in a bad situation. But if you can stretch yourself and spend a year overseas or build that car or live in that place, do it. Don't put yourself in $100 of debt you can't afford to have a good time. You have to buy insurance but can never use the insurance or else no one will sell you insurance. Fuck. Using insurance too. I've been fighting for the last 3 months because my homeowners refuses to acknowledge storm damage to my roof. I swear they've spent more trying not to cover the damage than if they would have just fixed things. Advice to other homeowners out there. Never let an insurance adjuster look at your roof before a qualified roofer has. And make sure that roofer is present when the adjuster comes. If their adjuster misses things, they will fight like hell before admitting a mistake. How many adults I actually dislike. When I was younger, I thought my parents liked all our neighbors, all my teachers, all my coaches, etc. I've since found out that they thought most people were morons. Kind of like I do. How quickly fruits and vegetables actually go bad when you buy them yourself. And you buy them thinking you're going to eat them. Because they're good for you and you know that. Because you're an adult. But there's always something else to eat and no one is making you eat your vegetables. Look up the cartoon panel. Crisper drawers, where good intentions go to die. I lost my wife of 35 years. There is no way to prepare and really no way to describe that loss. In my mind, my mama should be about 40. She has always seemed to be so strong, but sometimes I want to fall apart when I see her take several attempts to stand up or make excuses about driving on the interstate. She will be 70 soon, but to me she is still young. I don't know what I'll ever do without her. The lack of time for myself. Life is all work, housework, yard work, child care, bills, emails, phone calls. What's funny is that I have so much more free time now as an adult, single with no kids, that I know of, and it still doesn't feel like enough. No homework, no silly adult projects, renovating bathrooms, etc. No extracurriculars that take up a load of time. And yet every night once I'm done eating dinner, it's like, damn it, I have to go to bed in a few hours. Aging parents. Pensive face. Definitely this one. I still remember being a little kid around 5 or 6 watching The Land Before Time and crying over Littlefoot's mom dying. I cried to my mom saying I didn't want her to go anywhere, and she said don't worry because it's something that won't happen for a really long time. Cut ahead almost 30 years and that time is almost here. I still remember it so vividly, and losing my parents is probably the scariest thing in my life. Seems like time flew by and I'm worried with how quickly it's all moving. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you next time.